Listen to me. There comes a moment in every person's life when you have to look yourself in the mirror and tell the truth. Not the cute truth, not the comfortable truth. The real truth. And the real truth is this. The biggest thing standing between you and the life you say you want is not your past. Not your parents, not your bank account, not your haters. It's that weak version of yourself that keeps showing up every single day. That version that hits snooze when your dreams are calling. That version that says, I'll start tomorrow. That version that knows what to do, but refuses to do it. That version that talks about greatness but lives like average is enough. And I'm here to tell you today, if you want a new life, you don't need a new environment. You need a new identity. You need to kill that weak version of yourself. See, most people think success is about adding something, adding motivation, adding opportunities, adding connection. But real growth starts with subtraction. You gotta subtract laziness, subtract excuses, subtract comfort, subtract fear, subtract procrastination. Because you can't carry the old you into the new life. It doesn't work like that. The weak version of you cannot survive in the future you're praying for. Let me tell you something about comfort. Comfort is dangerous. Comfort will lie to you. Comfort will tell you it's okay to rest when you haven't earned rest. Comfort will tell you it's fine to scroll for hours while your goals sit unfinished. Comfort will tell you that average is acceptable. But comfort is the assassin of greatness. Every dream that died did not die from failure. It died from comfort. You say you want more, but your habits say you're fine with less. You say you want success, but your daily routine says you're okay with survival. You say you want change, but you keep repeating the same behaviors. Listen, you don't rise to your goals. You fall to your habits. Your habits are building your future whether you realize it or not. The weak version of you lives in bad routines. The strong version of you is created by discipline. And discipline is not sexy. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline doesn't wait for motivation. Discipline shows up on the days you're tired. Discipline shows up when nobody is watching. Discipline shows up when it would be easier to quit. Motivation will hype you up for a moment. Discipline will change your life forever. Some of you are waiting to feel ready. Let me help you. You will never feel ready. You move first and the feelings follow. You don't wait until you're confident to act. You act until confidence shows up. The weak version of you waits for perfect conditions. The strong version of you creates results in imperfect situations. You gotta understand this. Pain is part of the process. Everybody wants the reward, but nobody wants the struggle. Everybody wants the trophy, but nobody wants the training. Everybody wants the blessing, but nobody wants the burden. That weak version of you runs from pain. But champions understand something different. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your teacher. Pain builds character. Pain builds endurance. Pain reveals who you really are. Stop asking why it's hard. It's hard because it's changing you. It's hard because it's preparing you. It's hard because you're being upgraded. Diamonds don't form in comfort. Muscles don't grow without resistance. Greatness does not come wrapped in ease. Let me tell you something else. Excuses are silent killers. They don't scream. They whisper, you're tired. You've had a long day. Or you deserve a break. A start next week. And before you know it, weeks turn into months. A month turn into years, and you're still standing in the same place, wondering why nothing changed. Nobody owes you success. Nobody owes you discipline. Nobody owes you your dream. That's on you. You owe your future more than your feeling. Your future family doesn't care how tired you are today. Your future self doesn't care how uncomfortable it feels right now. Your legacy doesn't care about your excuses. Your future is watching what you do today. Every decision you make is either feeding your weakness or feeding your greatness. At some point, you have to stop saying, I'm trying. Trying is weak language. Trying leaves room for quitting. You don't try to breathe. You breathe. You don't try to survive. You survive. You don't try to become great. You commit. You decide. You execute. This is where identity comes in. You can't keep calling yourself broke and expect to be wealthy. You can't keep calling yourself lazy and expect to be disciplined. You can't keep seeing yourself as small and expect big results. You've got to change how you see yourself before you change what you achieve. When your identity shifts, your life shifts. Stop saying you want it and start acting like it. Stop talking about your goals and start living them. Stop posting quotes and start becoming one. The weak version of you loves inspiration. The strong version of you loves execution. And understand this is not a one-time battle. You don't defeat weakness once. You defeat it every day. Every morning you wake up, there's a fight waiting for you. The fight between comfort and commitment. The fight between excuses and execution. The fight between who you are and who you're supposed to become. Some days you'll win. Some days you'll struggle, but you never stop showing up. You never stop pushing. Never stop growing. Because consistency beats talent. Persistence beats motivation. And discipline beats everything. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be relentless. Look, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody's coming to push you. Nobody's coming to do the work for you. If your life is going to change, it's because you decided it had to. You are the solution. You are the answer. You are the breakthrough. So today I challenge you. Kill that weak version of yourself. Kill the excuses. Kill the laziness. Kill the fear. Kill the old mindset. Kill the habits that don't serve your future and replace it with discipline. Replace it with hunger. Replace it with consistency. Replace it with belief. Replace it with action. Because greatness is not something you find. Greatness is something you become. And it starts right now. Not tomorrow, not next week. Not when it's easier, right now. Let me tell you something real. Something most people don't want to hear. Comfort is killing your dreams. Comfort is slowly robbing you of the life you could have lived. Comfort is not your friend, even though it feels good. Comfort will smile at you while it quietly destroys your future. Comfort doesn't come loud. It comes soft. It comes wrapped in excuses. It comes dressed as rest. It comes disguised as if you deserve a break. And before you know it, you've been comfortable for so long that you forgot what hunger feels like. See, the weak version of you loves comfort. It loves the warm bed in the morning. It loves the couch at night. It loves scrolling instead of studying, watching instead of working, talking instead of doing. Comfort tells you it's okay to delay your destiny. Comfort tells you tomorrow will be better. Comfort tells you there's always. But listen to me carefully. Comfort has never produced greatness. Not once. Every successful person you admire had to get uncomfortable. Every breakthrough was born from struggle. Every transformation started with sacrifice. You say you want more, but you keep choosing what feels good instead of what builds you. You say you want success, but you negotiate with discipline. You say you want change, but you protect your comfort zone like it's sacred. And that's the problem. You're guarding the very thing that's holding you back. Comfort makes you average. Comfort keeps you small. Comfort keeps you stuck in routines that don't challenge you and environments that don't grow you. Comfort teaches you to settle, and settling is dangerous. Because once you accept average, you stop reaching for excellence. Once you accept survival, you stop chasing abundance. Once you accept where you are, you stop becoming who you could be. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you did something hard on purpose? When was the last time you pushed yourself, even when nobody was watching? When was the last time you chose discipline over desire? Most people can't answer that because they've been living on autopilot, letting comfort decide their schedule, their effort, and their future. Comfort wakes you up late. Comfort convinces you to skip the workout. Comfort tells you to eat what feels good instead of what fuels you. Comfort tells you to quit when it gets tough. Comfort tells you that your situation is permanent. Comfort tells you to blame circumstances instead of taking responsibility. And the scary part is comfort doesn't force you. It invites you. It makes you feel safe while it slowly drains your potential. You weren't born to be comfortable. You were born to grow. You were born to evolve. You were born to stretch beyond who you are right now. But growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. Growth happens in resistance. Growth happens in resistance. Growth happens when you're tired, but you keep going. Growth happens when you're scared, but you move anyway. Growth happens when everything in you wants to quit and you decide to push. Some of you are addicted to comfort and you don't even realize it. You're addicted to easy mornings. You're addicted to easy money. You're addicted to easy conversations. You're addicted to easy choices. And easy choices create hard lives. But hard choices create easy lives. You can struggle now or struggle later. You can sacrifice now or regret later. But either way, there's a price to pay. Let me tell you something else. Comfort makes you forget your why. When you get too comfortable, you stop remembering where you came from. You stop remembering the nights you cried. You stop remembering days you had nothing. You stop remembering the promises you made to yourself. Comfort makes you lazy yourself. Comfort makes you lazy with your purpose. It makes you casual with your calling. It makes you treat your dreams like hobbies instead of responsibility. Greatness requires urgency. Greatness requires hunger. Greatness requires a mindset that refuses to settle. You've got to get to a point where being comfortable makes you uncomfortable. Where wasting time makes you angry. Where average starts to feel unacceptable. That's when a shift happens. That's when a weak version of you starts to die. Most people don't fail because they're not talented. They fail because they're too comfortable. They fail because they stop pushing. They fail because they choose ease over effort. They fail because they fall in love with convenience. And convenience is the enemy of excellence. Listen, nobody becomes great by accident. Nobody wakes up one day and magically has discipline. Nobody stumbles into success. Success is built in the dark. Success is built in early mornings and late nights. Success is built in empty gyms and quiet rooms. Success is built when nobody is clapping for you. Comfort doesn't want you there. Comfort wants you at home. Comfort wants you distracted. Comfort wants you satisfied with less. You've got to learn how to be uncomfortable. You've got to learn how to embrace the grind. You've got to learn how to say no to short-term pleasure for long-term purpose. That means waking up earlier than you want. That means working when you don't feel like it. That means studying when others are partying. That means investing in yourself when others are spending on temporary happiness. Comfort will tell you that you've already done enough. But greatness will ask you, can you give a little more? Comfort will tell you to protect your energy, but greatness will tell you to invest it. Comfort will tell you to slow down, but greatness will tell you to stay hungry. And here's the truth nobody likes to talk about. Comfort makes time disappear. You think you have forever. You think there's always another chance. You think you'll start next month, next year, someday. But someday is not a date on the calendar. Someday is where dreams go to die. You don't need more time. You need more urgency. You don't need more motivation. You need more discipline. You don't need a new environment. You need a new standard. Stop waiting for life to force you to change. Change before life humbles you. Change before regret shows up. Change before you wake up one day and realize you wasted years being comfortable while your potential was begging to be used. Let me be clear. Rest is important, but comfort is different. Rest is recovery. Rest is recovery. Comfort is avoidance. Rest prepares you for the next battle. Comfort makes you forget there's a battle at all. Don't confuse the two. Every day you wake up, you have a choice. You can choose comfort or you can choose growth. You can choose ease or you can choose excellence. You can choose the weak version of yourself or you can choose the future version that's waiting on you to step up. The strongest people are not the ones with the most talent. They're the ones who learn how to live without comfort. They're the ones who learn how to keep going when it hurts. They're the ones who learn how to stay disciplined when motivation disappears. You don't become unstoppable by being comfortable. You become unstoppable by doing hard things consistently. So I'm asking you today, what are you willing to give up? What comfort are you willing to sacrifice? What habits are you ready to break? Because until you're willing to let go of comfort, you'll keep living the same year over and over again. Kill that weak version of yourself. Kill the need for ease. Kill the addiction to convenience. Kill the voice that tells you to slow down when you should be speeding up. Choose discomfort. Choose growth. Choose discipline. Because the life you want is on the other side of comfort. And it's waiting for you to get uncomfortable enough to go get it. Your actions define your destiny. It is not your intentions, your dreams, or your desires that determine the life you will live. It is what you do consistently, the choices you make every single day, and the effort you put into taking deliberate action toward your goals. You can talk about what you want to achieve, visualize your success, and feel motivated for a few hours or even a few days. But none of that will matter unless you take action. Your destiny is not written by your emotions. It is written by your actions. The weak version of you thinks about what could be, dreams about what might happen, and waits for inspiration to strike. The strong version of you understands that only consistent, purposeful action shapes the future. If you want to live a life of greatness, if you want to reach the level you imagine in your mind, you must act. You must move. You must execute. Because action is the only bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Many people misunderstand what action really means. Action is not simply moving, busying yourself, or doing tasks for the sake of activity. Action is deliberate. It is intentional. It is aimed at your goals. It is fueled by purpose. You can be busy every day and accomplish nothing meaningful, but deliberate action creates results. Every small step you take in alignment with your vision compounds over time. Every choice to move forward, to work harder, to persevere in spite of fear, doubt, and discomfort builds the life you are capable of living. Your actions are the building blocks of your destiny. Every decision, every habit, every effort you make or fail to make shapes your trajectory. Feelings will often lie to you. They will tell you to wait, to hesitate, to rest, or to postpone your work. They will say, you're not ready, you'll try tomorrow, or it's too hard. But feelings do not determine your destiny, actions do. You cannot sit and wait for confidence to come, for motivation to strike, or for inspiration to fuel your work. Confidence is built through action. Momentum is built through action. Success is built through repeated, consistent action. You must act, even when you do not feel like it. You must perform, even when the world feels heavy. You must execute, even when fear whispers that it is impossible. That is how destinies are shaped. Every action you take sends a signal to your brain, to your body, and to the world around you. Each choice communicates who you are and what you are capable of achieving. If you choose inaction, if you choose comfort, if you choose avoidance, you reinforce the weak version of yourself. You tell yourself that you are not capable, not ready, not deserving. But every time you act, even when it is difficult, even when it feels uncomfortable, you reinforce your strength, your resilience, and your potential. Actions define identity. Actions define character. Actions define the life you live. Consistency is crucial because it amplifies the power of action. One action alone may not change much, but repeated actions day after day, week after week, year after year, compound into extraordinary results. This is why so many people fail. They try once, they try twice, and when they don't see immediate results, they quit. They underestimate the power of cumulative action. They underestimate the effect of small, steady steps taken relentlessly. Your destiny is not shaped by sporadic bursts of effort, but by a pattern of consistent, deliberate, purposeful action over time. Action requires courage. It requires stepping into the unknown, taking risks, and facing uncertainty. You cannot allow fear to paralyze you. Fear is a natural signal that you are moving outside your comfort zone, but it is not a reason to stop. Every step you take toward your goals, every risk you embrace, every uncomfortable moment you endure strengthens your courage. It proves to yourself that you are capable. It proves that you are willing to face challenges in pursuit of your destiny. Those who achieve greatness are the ones who act despite fear, who persevere despite doubt, and who refuse to let hesitation define them. Your actions must align with your vision. It is not enough to be active. You must be effective. You must focus on high-value actions, those that directly move you toward your goals. You must prioritize what matters most and avoid distractions that steal your time, energy, and focus. Each action should have purpose. Each effort should be intentional. Every day, ask yourself, does this action bring me closer to my goals? Does it align with my vision? Does it reflect the person I want to become? If the answer is yes, do it. If the answer is no, discard it. Your destiny is shaped by the alignment of your actions with your purpose. Discipline fuels action. Motivation is temporary, but discipline is permanent. You may not always feel like working, but discipline keeps you moving. Discipline allows you to act consistently, even when emotions fluctuate, when obstacles arise, or when results are not immediately visible. Discipline builds the bridge between your intentions and outcomes. Without discipline, action is sporadic. Without discipline, action loses power. But with discipline, action becomes unstoppable. With discipline, you begin to build the momentum that transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Action also teaches lessons that thinking and planning cannot. You can spend years planning, visualizing, and strategizing, but until you act, The true obstacles, opportunities, and lessons remain unknown. Action reveals reality. Action uncovers strengths and weaknesses. Action exposes gaps in knowledge and skills. Action forces adaptation, growth, and learning. Your destiny is not shaped by what you imagine, but by what you actually do. Action turns ideas into experience, experience into knowledge, and knowledge into results. You must also understand the cost of inaction. Every day you delay, every time you hesitate, every moment you choose comfort over courage, you are giving away your future. Opportunities will not wait for you. Time will not pause for you. Life does not accommodate those who procrastinate. The weak version of yourself will always find excuses to delay, to wait, to hope. The strong version understands that every action counts, that every moment matters, and that every decision is an investment in your future. You owe it to yourself to act, to move, and to execute relentlessly. Action requires accountability. You cannot simply hope for results. You must commit to outcomes. You must measure your progress. You must track your performance and hold yourself responsible for the results you produce. Excuses and blame have no place in the life of someone who wants to define their destiny. Action without accountability is wasted energy. Action with accountability is transformative. When you commit to measurable steps, when you track your progress, and when you take ownership of your results, your destiny begins to shift from possibility to reality. Action creates momentum, and momentum compounds over time. Small steps taken consistently lead to significant achievements. The actions you take today, no matter how small, accumulate and eventually produce results that feel exponential. This is why patience is critical. You may not see immediate rewards. You may not feel the impact today. But as you persist, as you act despite discomfort, as you show up repeatedly, the results will compound and your destiny will begin to unfold. This is the natural law of consistent, deliberate action. It is powerful. It is undeniable. It is the key to transforming potential into reality. Action also defines character. The person who acts consistently, courageously, and intentionally becomes someone worthy of success. The person who acts sporadically, inconsistently, or hesitantly becomes someone limited by fear and indecision. Your identity is built through the actions you take. If you want to be strong, act strong. If you want to be disciplined, act disciplined. If you want to be successful, act successful. Actions are the language of your identity. Your destiny is a reflection of the person you choose to become through your actions. You cannot rely on luck, chance, or external circumstances to define your life. You must take control. You must act. You must execute. The weak version of yourself waits for opportunity to knock. The strong version builds opportunity through action. You must create the conditions for success, and the primary tool for creating those conditions is action. Your daily choices, your repeated effort, your commitment to doing what is necessary, even when it is hard, are the mechanisms through which your future is formed. The life you desire is not given, it's earned through action. Action fuels confidence. The more you act, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable. The more you execute, the more you demonstrate that you can overcome obstacles, handle challenges, and produce results. Confidence is not a feeling. It is a byproduct of action. When you act despite fear, doubt, or uncertainty, you build a track record of success that reinforces your self-belief. Action transforms potential into proof. Action validates your abilities. Action builds the foundation of unstoppable confidence. Action is relentless. It does not negotiate. It does not wait for feelings, moods, or circumstances. It shows up regardless. It persists regardless. It adapts regardless. If you want your destiny to reflect your highest potential, you must act relentlessly. You must move every day toward your goals. You must refuse to be stalled by fear, indecision, or temporary discomfort. You must recognize that action is not optional. It is mandatory. Every successful person, every leader, every high achiever understands this. They have learned that the quality of their destiny is determined by the consistency, intensity, and focus of their actions. Shapes your future. Every decision has consequences. Every choice is a building block. Your destiny is not abstract. It is tangible. It is constructed through action. You cannot delegate it. You cannot postpone it indefinitely. You cannot leave it to chance. Your life will reflect the sum of the actions you take today, tomorrow, and the day after. That is why discipline, focus, and execution are essential. Without them, your destiny drifts. With them, your destiny becomes intentional, deliberate, and extraordinary. Action requires sacrifice. It demands effort, time, and energy. It demands that you prioritize your long-term vision over temporary comfort. You will have to give up distractions, instant gratification, and easy shortcuts. You will have to endure discomfort, fatigue, and moments of doubt. But the price of action is nothing compared to the cost of inaction. The regret of wasted potential, the pain of unfulfilled dreams, and the frustration of living below your capability are far more costly than the effort required to act consistently and purposefully. Action is the investment that pays dividends for a lifetime. Now, as we come to the close of this journey, it is important to remember that the weak version of yourself does not die on its own. It will cling to your comfort, your excuses, your fears, and your procrastination. It will whisper lies that delay your progress, convince you that you are not ready, and tell you that your goals are too big or too difficult. The weak version will try to convince you that your feelings are more important than your actions, that rest is more valuable than effort, and that waiting is safer than moving forward. But here is the truth. Your future does not belong to your feelings. Your destiny is not determined by your comfort. It is determined by your courage, your discipline, your consistency, and your relentless commitment to action. You have the power to silence that weak voice, to challenge it, and to replace it with a strong, determined, relentless version of yourself that refuses to quit, no matter how hard the road gets. The path to greatness is not easy, and it never has been. It is paved with obstacles, setbacks, failures, and doubts. There will be moments when you question yourself, when your energy is gone, when the weight of your responsibilities feels unbearable. There will be days when giving up seems like the easiest, most rational choice. But giving up is exactly what the weak version of you wants. It wants comfort. It wants to avoid pain. It wants to wait until conditions are perfect. But life does not work on perfection. It works on action. It works on persistence. It works on the relentless, sometimes uncomfortable, often lonely effort of showing up every single day. The strong version of yourself does not wait for the perfect moment. It creates it through action. It does not wait for motivation. It moves regardless. It does not allow fear to dictate decisions. It takes action anyway. Remember that killing the weak version of yourself is not a one-time event. It is a daily battle. Every morning you wake up, you have the choice to either feed the weak version or empower the strong version. Every day, every hour, every minute, you are writing the story of who you are becoming. Every choice matters. Every action matters. If you allow laziness, procrastination, doubt, or distraction to dominate, you are allowing the weak version to thrive. But if you commit to showing up, to working hard, to embracing discomfort, and to taking relentless action, you are strengthening the strong version of yourself. You are building momentum, character, and results. You are transforming potential into achievement. You are bridging the gap between who you are now and who you are capable of becoming. Discipline is your greatest ally in this battle. Motivation comes and goes. Feelings fluctuate. Circumstances change. But discipline is constant. Discipline is what keeps you moving when you feel like stopping. Discipline is what keeps you focused when distractions are everywhere. Discipline is what forces you to take the actions you need to take, even when your mind is telling you it is too hard, even when your body is begging for rest, and even when your emotions are screaming for you to quit. Every disciplined choice you make strengthens the strong version of yourself. Every time you follow through despite discomfort, you are proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. Discipline is not punishment. It is empowerment. It is empowerment. It is the tool that allows you to kill weakness and build strength, confidence, and results. Consistency is the bridge that connects your goals to your reality. You can have the clearest vision, the boldest ambitions, and the most inspiring dreams, but without consistent action, nothing changes. Consistency is what turns ideas into results, dreams into accomplishments, and potential into performance. It is the repeated effort, the daily commitment, the unwillingness to quit that makes all the difference. The strong version of yourself shows up every day, even when it is uncomfortable. It works when no one is watching. It practices, studies, trains, plans, executes, and repeats. It understands that greatness is not achieved in bursts. It is achieved through relentless, steady, and unwavering effort over time. If you want extraordinary results, you must honor consistency as your most valuable tool. The bridge to success is built one deliberate, focused, repeated action at a time. Your actions are the blueprint of your destiny. Intentions mean nothing if they are not backed by action. Dreams remain fantasies if they are not fueled by execution. You must act. You must move. You must do what the weak version of yourself refuses to do. Every decision you make, every step you take, every effort you put forward is shaping your life. You cannot delegate your destiny. You cannot postpone your greatness. You cannot leave it to chance. You must claim it, fight for it, and earn it through relentless action. Strong version of yourself understands this truth and refuses to negotiate with excuses. It acts, it executes, it persists, it wins. You cannot wait for the perfect conditions to start becoming who you are meant to be. You must start now, and you must continue relentlessly. The weak version of yourself thrives on fear, distraction, and comfort. It will make the familiar feel safe and the unfamiliar feel impossible. It will convince you that incremental progress is too slow, that small steps do not matter, and that only massive, immediate breakthroughs count. But the truth is, it is the small, consistent, disciplined steps that compound into massive results. Every time you choose action over comfort, every time you choose persistence over procrastination, every time you do what is hard instead of what is easy, you are defeating the weak version. You are proving to yourself that you are stronger than excuses. You are proving that your destiny is determined not by your feelings, but by your actions. You are proving that you are capable of greatness. The weak version can no longer hold power over you once you realize that consistent, purposeful action is stronger than temporary feelings or fleeting comfort. You must also embrace responsibility. The weak version blames circumstances, other people, or bad luck for his failures. The strong version takes ownership. It understands that your destiny is your responsibility. No one else will create it for you. No one else will work harder, sacrifice more, or fight longer than you will for your goals. Excuses are for the weak version. Ownership is for the strong version. Every choice, every action, every effort you take or fail to take is yours and yours alone. You must claim it. You must embrace it. You must use it as fuel to take relentless, consistent, purposeful action toward the life you desire. Ownership transforms weakness into power. It transforms excuses into solutions. It transforms potential into reality. Let me tell you something nobody likes to talk about, something that doesn't sound motivational, but is absolutely necessary if you want a life that matters. Pain is the price of purpose. There is no way around it. There is no shortcut. There is no alternate route. If you want purpose, if you want growth, if you want transformation, you are going to have to go through pain. Everybody wants to promise, but nobody wants to process. Everybody wants to break through, but nobody wants to break down. Everybody wants success, but nobody wants to struggle. And that's why most people stay exactly where they are. They love the idea of greatness, but they hate the reality of becoming great. Pain is not your enemy. Comfort is. Pain is your teacher. Pain is your trainer. Pain is your refiner. Pain shows you what you're made of. Pain exposes your limits and then invites you to push past them. You don't find purpose in ease. You discover purpose in resistance. You don't grow in convenience. You grow in challenge. You don't develop strength in comfort. You develop strength in adversity. The weak version of you runs from pain. It avoids difficulty. It escapes discomfort. It looks for shortcuts. It looks for easy ways out. But the strong version of you understands something different. It understands that pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. Let me ask you something real. When things get hard, what do? Do you retreat? Do you complain? Do you blame? Or do you lean in? Do you rise up? Do you keep pushing even when everything in you wants to stop? Because the way you handle pain determines the level of your life. Most people only work hard when they feel good. But purpose-driven people work hard even when they feel broken, even when they feel tired, even when they feel discouraged, even when they feel afraid. You don't wait for pain to pass. You move through it. Pain is part of the journey. Rejection is part of the journey. Failure is part of the journey. Loss is part of the journey. Disappointment is part of the journey. None of it is wasted if you're willing to learn from it. Pain either makes you bitter or better. It either breaks you or builds you. It either stops you or strengthens you. The difference is not the pain. The difference is how you respond to it. Some of you have been through things that almost destroyed you. You lost people. You lost opportunities. You lost confidence. You lost time. And you're still here. That means you're stronger than you think. That means you survived what you thought would end you. That means there's something powerful inside you. But instead of letting pain sharpen you, some of you are letting it slow you down. You're carrying old wounds into new seasons. You're letting yesterday's hurt dictate today's effort. Let it go. Pain is meant to teach you, not trap you. Stop replaying what happened. Start building what's next. Purpose demands pressure. Diamonds don't form in comfort. Muscles don't grow without resistance. Character doesn't develop without adversity. The very thing you're trying to avoid is the thing that's shaping you for greatness. You say you want more money, more impact, more freedom, more peace. But are you willing to endure more discipline, more sacrifice, more discomfort? Because every next level has a new devil. Every upgrade comes with new challenges. You can't pray for strength and expect life to stay easy. Strength comes through struggle. Some of you are asking God to remove the pain. But what if the pain is the answer? What if the pain is preparing you? What if the pain is building endurance, humility, focus, and grit? You don't grow when everything is smooth. You grow when you're tested. Let me tell you something else. Pain reveals priorities. When things get hard, you find out what really matters. You find out who's really with you. You find out how badly you really want it. Anybody can smile when things are good. Anybody can stay motivated whenever it's working, but who are you when life hits you in the mouth? Who are you when plans fall apart? Who are you when nobody is cheering? That's when purpose is forged. That's when leaders are made. That's when champions are separated from spectators. Some of you quit too soon. You stop at the first sign of discomfort. You turn around at the first obstacle. You give up when it starts hurting. But what you don't realize is you were closer than you thought. The breakthrough was on the other side of the breakdown. Pain is a signal that change is happening. Growth hurts. Transformation hurts. Becoming someone new hurts. But staying the same hurts too. Choose your pain. You can choose the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. You can choose the pain of growth or the pain of staying stuck. You can choose the pain of effort or the pain of wasted potential. But you can't choose no pain. Life doesn't work like that. Every meaningful achievement is paid for in sweat, tears, and sacrifice. There is no success without suffering. There is no purpose without pressure. There is no victory without valleys. Stop asking why it's hard. It's hard because it matters. It's hard because it's building you. It's hard because you're becoming someone you've never been before. Let me talk to you about resilience. Resilience is built in pain. Mental toughness is built in pain. Emotional strength is built in pain. You don't develop grit by avoiding hardship. You develop grit by facing it head on. Every time you push through discomfort, you level up. Every time you keep going when you want to quit, you grow stronger. Every time you choose discipline over desire, you sharpen your character. Pain doesn't mean you're failing. Pain means you're stretching. Some of you are confused because things got harder when you started changing. That's normal. Resistance always shows up when you're leveling up. Old habits fight back. Old mindsets resist. Old environments try to pull you back. That's when you dig deeper. That's when you remind yourself why you started. That's when you stop listening to feelings and start honoring commitments. Let me be real with you. Purpose will cost you comfort. Purpose will cost you sleep. Purpose will cost you relationships that don't align with your growth. Purpose will cost you the old version of yourself. And most people aren't willing to pay that price. They want purpose, but they don't want the pressure. They want success, but they don't want the sacrifice. They want change, but they don't want the discomfort. But if you want something you've never had, you must become someone you've never been. That requires pain. That requires courage. That requires consistency. Your pain has a purpose. Your struggle has a message. Your hardship has meaning. Stop wasting your pain. Use it. Use it as fuel. Use it as motivation. Use it as proof that you're still alive and still fighting. Some of you are stronger than your circumstances, but you forgot it. You've been carrying pain instead of converting it into power. You've been letting adversity define you instead of refine you. Rise up, stand back on your feet, wipe your tears, and get back to work. Your story is not over. Your setback is not your sentence. Your pain is not permanent. But your purpose requires persistence. Life will test you. People will doubt you. Situations will challenge you. But you don't fall. You don't quit. You don't run. You endure. You adapt. You grow. Because on the other side of pain is clarity. On the other side of pain is strength. On the other side of pain is a version of you that you haven't met yet. And that version is waiting for you to push through. So embrace the struggle. Honor the process. Respect the grind. Because pain is not here to destroy you. Pain is here to develop you. And when you finally understand that, when you stop running from hardship and start rising through it, that's when your purpose becomes unstoppable. Discipline is the real difference between ordinary lives and extraordinary ones. Motivation is emotional, temporary, and unreliable. It comes when things feel exciting, when music is playing, when speeches sound powerful, when life feels hopeful. But discipline does not depend on emotion. Discipline does not wait for perfect moods. Discipline shows up when motivation disappears. Discipline wakes you up when your body wants rest. Discipline keeps you working when your mind wants comfort. Discipline pushes you forward when every feeling inside you tells you to stop. Most people are controlled by how they feel. If they feel tired, they stop. If they feel bored, they quit. If they feel uninspired, they wait. But successful people operate differently. They move based on commitment, not emotion. They understand that feelings change daily, sometimes hourly, but commitment stays constant. Discipline is choosing your future over your present comfort. It is choosing long-term growth over short-term pleasure. It is doing what must be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. Motivation might start the journey, but discipline finishes it. Motivation may help you begin, but discipline keeps you consistent. Motivation is loud and exciting, but discipline is quiet and powerful. Motivation wants attention. Discipline works in silence. Motivation looks for applause. Discipline looks for progress. The weak version of you depends on motivation. It waits for energy, excitement, and perfect condition. The strong version of you relies on discipline. It acts regardless of circumstances. There will be days when you feel inspired, confident, and unstoppable. But there will also be days when you feel tired, discouraged, confused, and emotionally drained. Discipline carries you through those days. Discipline is what gets you out of bed when your alarm rings. Discipline is what keeps you focused when distractions surround you. Discipline is what forces you to complete tasks when quitting feels easier. It is what separates those who talk about dreams from those who live them. Discipline is not dramatic. It is built through small daily choices. It is built when you keep promises to yourself. It is built when you finish what you start. It is built when you show up even when nobody is watching. Every disciplined action strengthens your identity. Every time you choose effort over excuses, you become stronger. Every time you stay consistent, you build momentum. Most people fail not because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity. They fail because they lack discipline. Talent without discipline fades. Intelligence without discipline gets wasted. Dreams without discipline remain fantasies. Discipline is what turns ideas into reality. Discipline is what converts potential into performance. Discipline is what transforms vision into results. Look at your life honestly. Your finances reflect your financial discipline. Your body reflects your physical discipline. Your mindset reflects your mental discipline. Your relationships reflect your emotional discipline. Everything around you is a product of repeated choices. Nothing is accidental. Everything is built through habits. And habits are controlled by discipline. People say they want change, but they resist structure. They say they want success, but avoid routines. They say they want freedom, but reject responsibility. Discipline creates freedom. Discipline creates options. Discipline creates confidence. Without discipline, life becomes chaotic, reactive, and unfocused. Discipline begins with simple action. Waking up when the alarm rings. Making your bed. Arriving on time. Completing tasks. Managing your time, controlling your thoughts, protecting your energy. These small behaviors shape your character. Small disciplines lead to big victory. But most people ignore small things while chasing big results. They want massive breakthroughs without mastering basic habits. Discipline feels uncomfortable at first. It demands sacrifice. It demands consistency. It demands patience. But comfort leads to regret. Comfort gives temporary pleasure and permanent disappointment. Discipline gives temporary discomfort and permanent rewards. You must decide which pain you are willing to accept. Discipline creates confidence because every time you keep your word to yourself, your self-respect grows. When you follow through, your belief increases. When you stay consistent, your identity shifts. You stop saying, I'm trying. You start saying, I do. You become someone who finishes what they start. The weak version of you waits to feel ready. The strong version becomes ready by taking action. Discipline keeps you moving when motivation fades. Discipline carries you through boredom. Discipline pushes you beyond fear. Discipline builds momentum, and momentum changes everything. Once momentum is built, your tolerance grows, your focus sharpens, your standards rise. But momentum only comes after consistency, and consistency only comes through discipline. Discipline is often lonely. You will be working while others rest. You will be saving while others spend. You will be learning while others entertain themselves. That's okay. You are building something they cannot yet see. Stop comparing your journey to people who don't share your commitment. Stop allowing undisciplined voices to influence disciplined decisions. Discipline requires boundaries. You cannot stay focused if everyone has access to your time. You cannot grow if distractions control your attention. Discipline means saying no to comfort today so you can say yes to freedom tomorrow. It means saying no to excuses, shortcuts, and average standards. Many people rely on motivation. They watch videos, listen to speeches, feel inspired, and then return to old habits. Motivation without discipline becomes entertainment. Discipline without motivation still produces results. Decision is more powerful than emotion. Commitment is stronger than mood. Action matters more than feelings. Discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. The more you avoid it, the weaker it gets. Start today, not tomorrow, not next week. Today, do one disciplined thing, then do another. Stack small wins, build momentum, become relentless. Your future is not waiting for motivation. It is waiting for discipline. Kill the weak version of yourself that depends on feelings. Build the strong version that moves on commitment. When discipline becomes your lifestyle, consistency becomes your identity, and execution becomes your habit. Nothing can stop you. Not fear, not doubt. Not setbacks, not adversity. Discipline will carry you when motivation cannot. Discipline will guide you when emotions confuse you. Discipline will protect your dreams when distractions attack. Discipline will shape your character when pressure arrives. Discipline will build your legacy quietly, steadily, and powerfully. And that is how greatness is created. You owe your future more than your feeling. Every single day you wake up, you are faced with choices. Some of those choices will feel easy, and some of them will feel hard. Some of them will excite you, and some of them will make you uncomfortable. And the truth is, the choices that feel uncomfortable, the ones that make you dig deeper, are the ones that determine your future. Every moment, every decision, and every action matters more than how you feel at that very second. You may feel tired, uninspired, or even overwhelmed, but your future does not care about your temporary emotions. Your potential does not care about your mood. Your destiny does not care if you're feeling lazy or discouraged today. The world does not pause for your feelings, and neither will the opportunities that are waiting for you. You owe it to yourself to act, to move, to make decisions that align with your goals, regardless of your temporary state of mind. Most people live in a trap of emotions. They wait until they feel like doing something before they take action. They wait until they feel ready, confident, or inspired to make a move. But life does not work like that. Waiting for your feelings to line up with your responsibility is a recipe for mediocrity. Waiting for motivation, waiting for courage, waiting for confidence, waiting for the perfect moment. These are traps disguised as excuses. Every day, you delay because you don't feel like it is a day you are losing leverage over your life. The weak version of you will always use feelings as a reason to stay small. The strong version of you understands that feelings are temporary, but results are permanent. You must take action even when your feelings are screaming for you to quit. Let's be honest. Your feelings are not always reliable. But to that, your emotions can be unpredictable. One day you wake up feeling motivated, and the next day you feel completely defeated. One hour you feel ready to conquer the world, and the next hour you doubt everything. That is human nature. Emotions are fleeting, and if you allow them to dictate your actions, you will always be inconsistent. You cannot rely on your feelings to build the life you want. Your future is built by the choices you make, regardless of how you feel. Success demands that you make decisions based on your vision, your goals, and your purpose, not based on your temporary mood swings or emotional state. You owe it to your future self to push when it's uncomfortable. Growth does not happen when things are easy. Your future self will be grateful for the sacrifices you make today. Every time you choose action over comfort, every time you choose discipline over desire, every time you choose persistence over avoidance, you are creating a version of yourself that will thank you for your commitment. It is easy to ignore what needs to be done today because it's uncomfortable, but every small decision builds the momentum that shapes tomorrow. You may feel like it doesn't matter, but every step adds up. Every effort compounds. Every decision either strengthens you or weakens you. You owe your future self the best version of you, and the best version of you is not a version that lets feelings dictate its progress. There will be days when you feel exhausted. There will be days when life overwhelms you. There will be moments when every reason to stop feels more appealing than every reason to continue. That is the test. The moments when you feel like giving up are the very moments that matter the most. That is when your character is being built. That is when the weak version of you must be silenced. That is when the strong version of you steps forward. You cannot afford to let temporary feelings compromise your long-term results. The people who succeed in life, who build extraordinary futures, are not the ones who felt great every day. They are the ones who showed up regardless of how they felt. You owe your future more than your feelings because your dreams will not wait for you. Time will not stop while you recover your confidence. Opportunities will not pause while you get motivated. The world continues to move, and every second you delay is a second you lose. Every delay creates a gap between where you are and where you want to be. Every excuse, every "I don't feel like it," every moment of procrastination is a missed opportunity to advance toward your purpose. If you want to create a future that is bigger, better, and stronger, you must prioritize action over comfort. You must prioritize vision over emotions. You must prioritize growth over temporary satisfaction. Your feelings are convenient, but your future is not. Feelings are here to serve you, not to control you. They are temporary indicators of your current state, not directives for your life. You may feel tired, frustrated, or doubtful, but these are not reasons to stop. These are signals that growth is required. These are reminders that effort is necessary. If you let feelings control your actions, you will always operate below your potential. You will always fall short of the greatness you are capable of achieving. You owe it to yourself to act in spite of feeling. You owe it to yourself to do what's required, even when it's uncomfortable. The truth is, feelings are often lying to you. Your mind will tell you that you are too tired, too weak, too incapable, or too unprepared to act. Your heart will whisper excuses for why you should wait, pause, or delay. But your future self will judge you not by how you felt, but by what you did. The only way to close the gap between your current life and your ideal life to prioritize action over emotion. When you act despite your feelings, you train yourself to be resilient, strong, and disciplined. You train yourself to persevere. You train yourself to achieve results that your feelings alone could never produce. You owe your future more than your feelings because every choice today shapes tomorrow. Every decision, every action, every moment of effort is a vote for the life you are creating. If you choose comfort, you vote for mediocrity. If you choose procrastination, you vote for regret. If you choose avoidance, you vote for stagnation. But if you choose action, discipline, and consistency, you vote for progress, growth, and transformation. You cannot delegate your responsibility to your feelings. You cannot allow your temporary state of mind to dictate permanent outcomes. You must take control. You must act intentionally. You must do what your future self needs, even when your present self resists. Some of the most successful people in the world act in spite of their feelings every single day. They do not wait to feel inspired. They do not wait for excitement or certainty. They understand that progress comes from persistence. They understand that results come from action. They understand that comfort will never produce greatness. They understand that emotions are unreliable guides, but discipline, commitment, and focus are consistent. They have learned to honor their vision more than their moods, their purpose more than their feelings, and their long-term success more than temporary satisfaction. You may feel overwhelmed by the magnitude of what you want to achieve. You may feel like you're not ready, not equipped, or not capable. Those feelings are normal, but normal feelings cannot dictate extraordinary results. You must operate at a level above your emotions. You must prioritize vision over comfort, execution over hesitation, and courage over doubt. Your future self is counting on you to make these decisions. Your future self deserves more than excuses. Your future self deserves more than inaction. Your future self deserves consistency, resilience, and perseverance. Every time you act in alignment with your goals, even when it feels hard, you strengthen your identity. You prove to yourself that you are reliable. You prove to yourself that you can overcome challenges. You prove to yourself that your commitment is greater than your temporary discomfort. And the accumulation of these decisions, these small victories, these acts of discipline will determine the trajectory of your life. You cannot wait for feelings to dictate your path. You must take responsibility. You must act in spite of emotions. You must honor your future. Remember, your feelings are not permanent. They will shift, fade, and change. They are momentary reflections of your current state, but your results are long-lasting. Your achievements are permanent. Your legacy is built on decisions, not moods. Your impact is created through action, not inspiration. You owe it to your future to act consistently, to persevere, and to remain committed regardless of how you feel today. The choices you make in moments of discomfort are what define your life. The weak version of you allows feelings to control behavior. It waits for convenience. It waits for certainty. It waits for permission. It waits for motivation. The strong version of you acts with discipline. It acts with urgency. It acts with purpose. It acts with persistence. It understands that growth is forged in discomfort, progress is built in action, and results are achieved through commitment. You owe your future more than your feelings because the life you desire cannot be built on temporary emotions. You cannot create wealth, health, success, or happiness if you only act when you feel like it. You must develop the ability to show up, work hard, and persevere even when the emotional signals urge you to quit. This is the essence of responsibility, the essence of accountability, and the essence of maturity. You are accountable not to your feelings, but to your potential. You are accountable not to your moods, but to your destiny. You are accountable not to comfort, but to your future. The moment you understand this, your perspective shifts. You stop seeking permission from motivation. You stop waiting for inspiration. You stop negotiating with your emotions. You realize that your actions, your discipline, and your perseverance are what matter most. You begin to operate on a higher plane, where commitment is more important than comfort, where persistence is more important than feelings, where results are more important than excuses. That is when you start moving toward the life you truly deserve. Your future self is silently watching. Every choice you make today is shaping that version of you. Every decision, every moment of discipline, every act of courage is an investment in the life you will live tomorrow. And every moment you allow your feelings to dictate your behavior is a withdrawal from your potential, a setback to your growth, and a compromise to your destiny. You owe your future more than your feelings. You must act, even when it's hard. You must move, even when it's uncomfortable. You must persevere, even when you feel like giving up. The great ones understand that feelings are temporary, but results are permanent. They understand that comfort is deceptive, but discipline is reliable. They understand that the only way to achieve extraordinary outcomes is to consistently act in alignment with purpose, regardless of emotions. They act when they do not feel like acting. They push when they do not feel like pushing. They keep going when they do not feel like continuing. They understand that their future depends on their present choices, not their present feelings. So take responsibility for your life. Make decisions that honor your future. Act consistently. Prioritize purpose over comfort. Choose action over hesitation. Commit to showing up every day no matter how you feel. Your future self will thank you. Your goals will come closer. Your potential will be realized. And the weak version of you that waits for feelings will be replaced by a strong version of you that acts relentlessly, perseveres consistently, and achieves the life you were meant to live. Let me talk to you about something that doesn't scream, doesn't shout, doesn't make noise, but destroys more dreams than failure ever could. Excuses. Excuses are silent killers. They don't come with warning signs. They don't kick down your door. They sit next to you. They sound reasonable. They feel justified. They tell you stories that make you comfortable staying exactly where you are. Excuses don't tell you to quit. They tell you to wait. They don't tell you you can't. They tell you not right now. They don't say your dream is impossible. They say you'll start later. And that's how they win. Not by force, but by delay. Every excuse sounds logical. I'm tired. I don't have time. I don't have money. I'm not ready yet. But let me tell you something real. Tired people succeed. Busy people succeed. Broke people succeed. Unready people succeed. The difference is they move anyway. The weak version of you loves excuses because excuses remove responsibility. Excuses give you permission to stay small. Excuses give you a reason to avoid discomfort. Excuses protect your ego when you don't want to face your potential. And the scary part is, nobody else hears your excuses. Only you do. The world only sees results. You can explain all day why you didn't do it. You can justify why you couldn't try. You can give 1,000 reasons why the timing wasn't right. But at the end of the day, your life doesn't change because of explanations. Your life changes because of execution. Excuses steal quietly. They steal your mornings. They steal your evenings. They steal your evenings. They steal your focus. They steal your urgency. One excuse turns into a habit. A habit turns into a lifestyle. And before you know it, years have passed and you're still talking about what you are going to do. Let me ask you something. How many dreams have died inside you because of excuses? How many opportunities passed you by because you weren't ready? How many times did you say next week and next week never came? Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they keep giving themselves permission to delay greatness. Excuses are dangerous because they feel harmless. You tell yourself you'll skip today and make it up tomorrow. You tell yourself you'll start when things calm down. You tell yourself once life gets easier, then you'll go hard. But life doesn't get easier. You get stronger, or you stay the same. Let me be clear with you. Nobody is coming to give you perfect conditions. Nobody is coming to hand you discipline. Nobody's coming to make you ready. You build readiness by moving. You build confidence by doing. You build strength by struggling. The problem is, excuses give you a false sense of peace. They help you sleep at night while your dreams starve. They let you feel okay about underperforming. They make average feel acceptable. And once average becomes acceptable, excellence feels optional. Excuses sound smart. They come with details, they come with explanation. They come with explanations, they come with stories. But champions don't tell stories. Champions tell results. You don't need more reasons. You need more resolve. Look, everybody has problems. Everybody has obstacles. Everybody has days when they don't feel like it. That's not special. What's special is who shows up anyway. What's special is who keeps pushing when motivation is gone. What's special is who refuses to let circumstances dictate their commitment. Excuses make you a victim. Discipline makes you a leader. Every time you make an excuse, you give away your power. You tell your circumstances they're in control. You tell your feelings they get to decide your future. You tell your comfort zone it can keep running your life. But when you stop making excuses, everything changes. You stop blaming. You stop waiting. You stop negotiating with your potential. You take ownership. You take responsibility. You take action. Some of you are waiting for support. Some of you are waiting for approval. Some of you are waiting for someone to believe in you. Let me tell you something. Belief starts with you. Support follows results. Approval comes after consistency. Excuses love company. They love group chats. They love friends who complain. They love environments where everybody talks about problems instead of solutions. If you stay around excuse makers, you'll become one. If you stay around victims, you'll think victimhood is normal. That weak version of you survives. Excuses. It feeds on I'll try. It feeds on maybe later. It feeds on it's not my fault. But the strong version of you doesn't argue with excuses. It ignores them. You gotta learn how to move even when your mind gives you reasons to stop. You've gotta learn how to work when you're tired. You've gotta learn how to focus when you're distracted. You've gotta learn how to show up when nobody's clapping. Because success doesn't care about your excuses. Opportunity doesn't wait for your move. Time doesn't pause for your comfort. Every excuse is a decision to stay the same, a decision to delay growth, a decision to protect your comfort instead of your future. And let me tell you something else. Excuses are contagious. When one person starts making excuses, it gives everybody else permission to do the same. But discipline is contagious too. Effort is contagious too. Standards are contagious too. Be the person who raises the level, not the one who lowers it. Stop saying you don't have time. You have time for what you prioritize. Stop saying you don't have energy. You spend energy on what matters to you. Stop saying you don't know where to start. Start where you are with what you have. Progress doesn't require perfection. It requires commitment. You don't need to see the whole staircase. You just need to take the first step. But excuses keep you frozen at the bottom, analyzing every reason why climbing will be hard. Let me be real with you. Some of you have been saying the same things for years. Same complaint, same promises, same delay, same pattern. But at some point, you got to get tired of hearing your own excuses. Get tired of starting over. Get tired of falling back. Get tired of watching other people pass you while you stay in the same place. Nobody owes you success. Nobody owes you discipline. Nobody owes you your dream. That responsibility belongs to you. Your future doesn't care about your past explanation. Your destiny doesn't care about your reasons. Your potential doesn't care about your comfort. The moment you stop making excuses is the moment your life starts to change. You don't wait until you feel strong. You act and strength follows. You don't wait until fear disappears. You move and courage shows up. You don't wait until everything is perfect. You build in the middle of chaos. Excuses keep you talking. Action keeps you growing. And here's the truth. You already know what you need to do. You don't need another video. You don't need another quote. You don't need another plan. You need to execute. So today I challenge you. Call out your excuses. Write them down. Look at them and then decide that none of them are bigger than your future. Kill the excuse that says you're tired. Kill the excuse that says you're too busy. Kill the excuse that says you don't have what it takes. Kill the excuse that says you'll start later. Later is not promised. Opportunity is not permanent. Time is not waiting. Your life will only change when you stop explaining and start executing. No more stories, no more delays, no more excuses. Just action, just discipline, just growth. And when you do that, when you finally silence the excuses and step into responsibility, that's when the weak version of you starts to disappear. And the strong version finally takes control. Let me tell you something that might hurt a little, but it's the truth you need to hear. Your life looks the way it does right now because of what you do every single day. Not what you plan to do, not what you talk about, not what you hope will happen, what you repeatedly do. Your habits built this life. Your routine shaped your reality. Your daily choices wrote your story. You don't wake up one day successful. You don't wake up one day broke. You don't wake up one day disciplined or undisciplined. It happens slowly, quietly, through patterns, through behaviors, through the small decisions you make when nobody is watching. People love to blame luck. They love to blame circumstances. They love to blame their background. But the truth is simpler and harder at the same time. You are living the results of your habits. If you don't like where you are, don't complain about the destination. Change the direction. And the direction is controlled by your daily actions. The weak version of you loves in random routines. It wakes up whenever. It eats whatever. It works whenever it feels like it. It scrolls without limits. It reacts instead of plans. It waits for motivation. And it wonders why nothing changes. But the strong version of you understands something powerful. Consistency beats intensity. You don't need to go hard once in a while. You need to go steady every day. You don't need massive breakthroughs. You need small wins stacked on top of each other. Most people want big results without small disciplines. They want transformation without repetition. They want success without structure. But life doesn't work that way. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your habits. You can write down all the goals you want, You can visualize all day long. You can listen to motivation every morning. But if your habits don't change, your results won't change. Your habits decide your health. Your habits decide your income. Your habits decide your confidence. Your habits decide your future. And habits don't care about your feelings. They don't care about your excuses. They don't care about your intentions. They only respond to repetition. Let me ask you something real. What does your morning look like? What do you do in the first hour after you wake up? Do you grab your phone and start consuming other people's lives? Or do you invest in your own? Do you prepare your mind for greatness, or do you let the world program? Because how you start your day sets the tone for everything else. Some of you wake up already behind, already rushed, already stressed, already distracted. And then you try to fix your life with motivation. Motivation can't save bad habits. You gotta build systems. You gotta create routines. You gotta design your days on purpose. The weak version of you lives by feelings. The strong version of you lives by standards. Feelings change. Standards don't. You don't work out because you feel like it. You work out because that's who you are now. You don't study because you're inspired. You study because discipline is part of your identity. You don't show up because it's convenient. You show up because you made a commitment to yourself. Most people wait for motivation. Winners move without it. Let me tell you something else. Bad habits don't show up as disasters. They show up as little compromises. Skipping one workout, eating one unhealthy meal, sleeping in one extra hour, procrastinating one task. But one turns into two, two turns into 10, two turns into 10. And before you know it, you build a lifestyle of delay. Good, the same way. One page of reading, 1 hour of focus, one healthy choice, one disciplined decision. It doesn't feel powerful in the moment, but compounded over time, it changes everything. Success is boring. It's repetitive. It's waking up early when you don't want to. It's doing the same things over and over again. It's mastering the basics. There's nothing glamorous about it, but people want fireworks. They want instant results. They want shortcuts. They want hacks. There are no hacks. There are habits. You don't need a miracle. You need a routine. And here's what hurts. You already know what your bad habits are. You don't need someone to tell you. You feel them in your body. You see them in your bank account. You recognize them in your relationships. You know what's holding you back. The question is, are you willing to replace them? Because you can't delete habits. You can only replace them. You can't remove scrolling. Replace it with reading. You can't remove laziness. Replace it with movement. You can't remove negative thinking. Replace it with intentional focus. But replacement takes effort. Replacement takes awareness. Replacement takes consistency. The weak version of you avoids structure. It avoids planning. It avoids routines. Because routines feel restrictive. But let me tell you something. Structure creates freedom. Discipline creates options. When your habits are strong, your life becomes flexible. People say they want freedom, but they reject discipline. That's backwards. Discipline is what gives you freedom. You can't be free financially if your habits waste money. You can't be free mentally if your habits feed negativity. You can't be free physically if your habits destroy your health. Your habits are either building your future or stealing from it. Let that sink in. Every habit has a cost. Every habit has a reward. Scrolling has a cost. Procrastination has a cost. Overeating has a cost. Sleeping late has a cost. So does discipline. So does consistency. So does growth. The difference is one cost gives you regret and the other gives you results. Let me tell you something powerful. You don't need to change your whole life today. You need to change today. Just today. Focus on winning this day. Build momentum. Stack victories. Don't think about 10 years. Think about the next hour. Don't think about the mountain. Think about the next step. Momentum is built through small actions done daily, and stop waiting for things to feel natural. New habits feel uncomfortable. That's normal. Growth feels awkward. That's normal. You're becoming someone you've never been before. Of course, it feels strange. The weak version of you runs back to what feels familiar. The strong version of you leans into what feels uncomfortable. Let me say this clearly. Your environment shapes your habits. If you stay in the same places with the same people doing the same things, don't expect different results. Change your surroundings. Change your input. Change what you listen to. Change what you watch. Change who you spend time with. You can't build a winning mindset in a losing environment. Protect your mornings. Protect your focus. Protect your energy. Some of you have been feeding distractions more than your dreams. Every time you pick up your phone instead of your purpose, you are training yourself to choose comfort over growth. Every time you avoid hard work, you're strengthening the habit of delay. But every time you push through resistance, you're building discipline. Your brain is always learning. It's either learning laziness or learning consistency. Train it well. And here's something else. You don't become confident by thinking about it. You become confident by keeping promises to yourself. Every time you say you'll do something and you do it, your self-respect grows. Every time you quit on yourself, it shrinks. Confidence is built through integrity with your own word. Stop breaking promises to yourself. Stop saying you'll start tomorrow. Start now. Some of you want a new life, but you keep repeating the same day. You wake up, do the same things, think the same thoughts, make the same choices, and wonder why nothing changes. If you want different results, you need different routines. Your habits are votes for the person you're becoming. Vote wisely, because one day the results will show up. You won't see it immediately. You won't feel it right away. But slowly, quietly, things start shifting. Your energy changes, your mindset changes, your discipline strengthens, your confidence grows. And one day, people will call you lucky, but you'll know the truth. It was habits. It was early mornings. It was consistency. It was choosing growth when nobody was watching. So today, take ownership. Stop blaming the world. Stop blaming your past. Stop blaming your circumstances. Your habits got you here, and your habits can take you somewhere greater. Kill the weak routines. Build powerful ones. And remember this, you don't rise to your goals. You fall to your habits. Choose wisely. Consistency is the bridge between goals and results. It is the daily choices, the small actions, the repeated behaviors, and the unwavering commitment that determine whether you achieve your dreams or settle for mediocrity. Most people think that success is the result of luck, talent, or a sudden breakthrough, but the truth is far simpler and more challenging. Success is built one step at a time, and the steps that matter most are the ones you take consistently. It is not about doing everything perfectly once. It is about doing the right things over and over again, even when you don't feel like it. The weak version of yourself wants results without effort, wants recognition without work, wants achievement without persistence. But the strong version understands that every goal is achieved through repeated focus and disciplined action. Consistency is what separates dreamers from doers. It is what separates those who talk about their ambitions from those who actually achieve them. Many people have ideas, visions, and goals, but they fail to act consistently, and as a result, their dreams remain fantasies. They try hard once, maybe twice, and when it doesn't yield immediate results, they quit. They give up too soon because they confuse effort with instant success. They confuse progress with perfection. The bridge to success is not a one-time effort. It is the accumulation of small, purposeful actions carried out day after day. It is the dedication to showing up even when it is inconvenient, uncomfortable, or unexciting.